to another week of Eye of the Storm, a Guelph Storm podcast with myself, Ryan Drury, voice of the Guelph Storm on Rogers TV. I'm very pleased to be joined by another member of the team who's having a fantastic sophomore season, centerman Jett Luchanko. Jett, how are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm glad to have you on the show. I know a lot of people have been excited to have you on. A lot of people have been asking, when's Jett coming on? Because you're having such a great year. Everybody's excited about what you're doing on the ice. Obviously, last year as a rookie, you come in, you had some injury problems, which were, I know, tough to deal with for you, but you still had a really good showing as a rookie. But this year, man, your game is exploding. You're doing so well out there. What's the biggest difference in your opinion so far this year in your game compared to your rookie season?
Yeah, I think the coaches kind of told me that I'd be able to play a bigger role this year, and I think it's I've been able to run with it a little bit, but I think I got a little bit bigger over the summer, and I think that has a lot to do with it. I'm seeing the game a lot better now than I did last year, probably playing with a little more confidence too.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way. I mean, the way you're seeing the ice and some of the plays you're making out there, it's been pretty impressive. I want to talk first a little bit about, your history growing up. Obviously, you're a London native. What was it like growing up in the Forest City, which is a hotbed for junior hockey, minor hockey? A lot of kids get drafted out of that area. What was it like for you growing up and being able to play hockey there in a spot where hockey's kind of everything in London?
Yeah, hockey really is pretty much everything there. Is growing up watching the Knights was always a huge thing. They had so many great teams growing up. Every single year they seem to be in contention, and like they still are this year. I just remember watching, Mitch Marner, Matthew Tkachuk, guys like that, and that's really what inspired me to kind of play in the OHL. And yeah, there's always hockey stuff going on around there, and so it's really nice to be a part of.
You were part of the Junior Knights program as well, which of course we saw a lot of great players. You mentioned one in particular there that came through that program. What was it like for you to experience that and a really high level of coaching as a young kid before you went into the OHL? I'm sure it probably prepared you a little more than maybe other kids in terms of the coaching acumen.
Yeah, it's a great organization to grow up with. So many kids have come through there playing in the Alliance and playing for the Junior Knights. So, it's just really nice to be a part of it. And I played with a lot of really good teammates who are in the OHL now too. So, guys like Ryan Rubrick and Ethan Weir and Brody McConbarker, Liam Spencer. And so it's kind of nice to go through it with them and kind of get to this level. And there's just so many great memories from those times.
What do you remember best about being a kid and kind of growing up? I'm sure, your parents, like most hockey parents, were at the rink with you a lot. And, some coaches that you were growing up with had a big impact on you. Who are some of those people that you remember as a young kid when you were just starting to kind of play the game that really stick out to you?
Yeah, I mean, my parents for sure, they've always been really involved for me, not super hard on me either, which I think is a good thing. And, they've always taken their time to go to the rink for me, and I have two siblings too, so their life has always been, at the rink and pretty hectic. But now, I've moved out, my sister moved out, so right now it's just my brother playing for the Junior Knights right now. So I think it's a little bit easier on them, but it's nice for them to still kind of have one more, kid to look after, watch play hockey.
Another Luchanko on the way. The OHL scouts, I'm sure, after watching you, are going to be excited about that. You mentioned obviously watching Marner and Tkachuk and so many other great Knights growing up in your hometown. Who are some guys? Because the way you play the game, you're a really slick centerman. You can really move out there. You've got great passing ability and vision. Who are some guys, maybe not even necessarily NHL players, that you grew up watching that you really tried to model your game after, Jett?
Yeah, I would say like I always liked Marner. I would say he's my favorite player, and I like the way he moves the puck. But there's also guys like Dylan Larkin, Matthew Barzell. They're just guys who can play, in all situations of the game, and that's something that I try to do. And they play with a lot of speed, and I feel like that's something that I can bring. And they don't just use that speed with the puck; they use it everywhere on defense and on the penalty kill, power play, every kind of aspect of the game. So that's something that I try to model my game after, and I like to watch them when they're on TV.
Well, that makes a lot of sense because, we've enjoyed watching you the last year and a half, and seeing your game really expand. But one thing that really stuck out to us right away was your skating ability. And I know it stuck out to George and the Storm staff. When did you kind of start to notice, maybe when you were younger, that you were a little bit of a better skater than some of your peers? Because it's a pretty rare ability, like the way you can move on your edges, your acceleration, your ability to take off and create space. Like that's something that a lot of hockey players wish they had. Did you start to notice at a certain age that I'm maybe a little bit better on my skates than some of the other kids I'm growing up with?
Yeah, I just feel like I've always been kind of more of one of the faster kids, like growing up in school, playing football, doing races, kind of in the yard. Just I feel like I've always kind of naturally been a little bit faster, and it's something I try and work on too in the gym, and just trying to get more powerful and quick. So I feel like it's a combination of kind of that. So I try to use that as much as to my advantage as I can.
Well, it certainly shows. And, your team's got quite a few speedsters on it. Jake Carabella sticks out. We talked to him about his speed, and obviously youngsters like Will McFadden. Do the races in practice get a little competitive from time to time?
Yeah, our practices are always really competitive, and I think that's something that our coaches are really big on. And so we get out and practice a lot, and yeah, we definitely have a lot of fast guys on the team. Parker Snellgrove coming up, he's really quick too, and I think that's someone that I watched kind of went last year was Danny Zilk, and he was always fast. So I kind of tried to wanted to kind of be like that one day, and so it's kind of nice to see.
Yeah, everybody's kind of raising each other's games. And yeah, Danny Dangles, he could really fly out there too. He was a special player for sure. You're having a special season. Like I mentioned, obviously, your rookie season, you managed to get into 46 games. You had some injuries. You put up 14 points. You've blown past that. You're setting new career highs every time you step on the ice. As we record this, you played 36 games. You got 40 points. You're well on your way to much better than a point a game season. What's gone so right for you? Because you're playing with great line mates. You're obviously healthy. That's a big part of it, but you've taken a big step out there mentally as well. What's going so well out there with you and your line that you're playing with, specifically Vilmer Ulrichsen? You and Vilmer have really, really become quite a pair out there. What is it about playing with him and some of the other guys that's really fed into your success?
Yeah, I feel like he's a really special player to play with. Obviously, you guys see the size out there, and he can really move too. I think that's an underrated part of his game. He can really fly. He's really strong too, and I think he makes my life easier out there a lot. He's one thing he's really good at. He's good at finding the open areas, and I think he lives down the street from me, and so I ride with him to the rink every day, and I think he makes my job easier. I think everyone, coaches, all the players make my job easier too, and so it's been nice to play with everyone, and play with him especially. He's been really nice.
You mentioned the coaches and the rest of your teammates, and I don't know how many of these you've maybe tuned into or watched, but pretty much every guy to a man has talked about how special the room is this year and how special the relationship is with the coaching staff, from Chad and all the guys on down. What is it about that room that's so special? I mean, I see you guys hanging out before the game and playing sewer ball, and it's a lot of fun to watch. You guys seem like a real tight room. That must feel pretty special every night when you go to the rink.
Yeah, it's really nice to be a part of. Everyone's so nice. There's not one guy I could say that isn't doesn't fit in on the team, and I think guys who have come over from other teams will say the same thing, that their other teams were not as special as this team. And I think it definitely starts with the coaches, and everyone kind of gets along, even upper management and everyone. It's really nice, and I think it reflects our game out there.
Your team is the best defensive team in the OHL. You guys have been on lockdown right from the very first game. You guys have been stifling opponents. You're so frustrating to play against. I talked to other broadcasters and some other guys on other teams, and they all say the same thing. You guys are bar none the most frustrating team in the OHL to play against. It's pretty special probably for a guy like yourself, who's definitely looked at to chip in more offense, but it's certainly got to be special for your team to have that kind of identity this late into a season, Jett.
Yeah, it's cool to be part of, and I think our coaches have put together a really good system for us, and everyone's bought in. And I think really I think we have the least goals against. Right now, I'm not 100%, but that definitely starts with our goaltending. Gillespie has been outstanding for us. Every single game he seems to stand on his head for us, and I think he trusts in us and our defense, and I think we trust in him as well.
Yeah, Braden and Damian Slavic, when he's gone in, you guys have a really great goaltending duo, really great defensive play. It's been fun to watch. I want you to take me back to draft night and obviously finding out that you were going to become a member of the Guelph Storm, which was maybe a little bit of an adjustment growing up in London. And I'm sure, you know, when the Knights play, it's a family affair for you for sure. But take me back to how excited you were to be drafted by an organization like Guelph. It's a really well-regarded franchise for good reason. And what is it about playing in Guelph that's so special for you, Jett?
Yeah, I was pumped to hear that I was drafted by Guelph. I always knew that they were one of the top organizations and great place to play right in the middle of kind of everywhere, like really good travel schedule and coming here and being welcomed by the community and by the players was really easy, and I was able to kind of feel comfortable right away. And so it's nice to be able to play in front of full house every night too. So I mean, I love it here, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Well, it certainly shows out there, and the fans have definitely taken to you and all the exciting plays you've been making this year. Before I touch on, you know, some of your equipment, something I like to do with you and the guys, I want to talk about one play in particular. Obviously, the OHL put out the top 10 plays from the first half. You were well featured on there, particularly the power play goal in North Bay. That's going to be a standout play from the entire season when everything's said and done. What do you remember about that goal? Because, you know, I'm sure everybody was talking about it with you after the game. I know that it was something that stuck out to us. We were all excited to see it. Take us through that goal because it's a really standout play for you.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of a break in on the power play. Just kind of the goal was to gain the zone, set up the power play, and I got a nice pass from Bushinger to kind of enter the zone, and I was able to find some space. And next thing you know, I was right next to the goalie. I was able to score, so it was nice. I think that tied up the game too. So
Yeah, you made it sound a little simpler than it looked, and you know that's typical. I know you're a pretty humble kid, so it looked a little more glamorous than what you described, but yeah, that's definitely going to be a standout play for you for sure. I want to talk a little bit about your equipment. Like, are you a really particular guy with your stick, your gloves? Do you have any like weird habits or rituals surrounding your equipment, or are you just kind of show up, get the tape on the stick, and go to work?
yeah, recently this year I changed my stick. I was using kind of the same exact stick for my whole life until this year. The coaches kind of were on me to switch up the curve a little bit. I went down in flex, and I think it's helped my shot a lot this year. And another thing, like my skates, I think I'm really particular with my skates. Like I last year I spent the whole year trying all kinds of different skates, and I got a pair that worked, and I think probably stick with that for a while. But it took a pretty much the whole year to kind of figure out my skate situation.
Well, based on the way you skate, I'm not surprised to hear that your skates are definitely a point of perfection for you. What kind of model are you rocking right now?
I think I have a Bauer Supreme 3S right now, which I don't know if there's anyone else who are using those right now. It's not one of the top end skates right now, but it works for me. I think it has a certain feel to it that I've grown up with and always liked, and it feels most comfortable for me.
That's all that matters, man. What about the stick? What kind of setup are you rocking?
It's a CCM jet speed 80 flex, and it's got the P90 curve. I was using a Kane P88 curve before with 85 flex, so it was a little bit stiffer, different curve. It was kind of hard to shoot with that stick, but passing, puck handling was easier. I feel like now I kind of have the best of everything. Kind of I can get good shots off. I can handle the puck well, and it's good in battles, and I feel like it helps.
I agree. Well, it's the results speak for themselves, I think, Jett. I'm curious about, you know, your routine on the road. Obviously, in the OHL, every now and again, you got to hop on a bus and ride out some pretty long trips up north and down into the States. Are you a big Netflix guy on the bus? Are there any shows in particular that you're a big fan of that you kind of are attached to?
Yeah, right now I've been on Netflix a little bit. I'm rewatching The Last Dance right now, and I've watched it a lot of times. I really enjoy watching that with Michael Jordan and all that. So I'll do a little bit of that. I'll sleep if I can before, and listen to a little bit of music, hang out with the guys a little bit, and you know, just that's pretty much it on the bus. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Well, The Last Dance is great. You got to check out that David Beckham documentary.
Right.
If
Yeah.
you
I've
like The
heard that.
Last Dance, yeah, check that one out. It was very similar and pretty interesting career that guy had for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm curious about your music taste. Now, throughout this entire thing, I'm getting a lot of country in the room, bit of techno, some pop stuff. Jake Carabell even tossed out some Taylor Swift. What are you rocking? If you're in control of the boombox in the room, what would you be throwing on?
Yeah, I'd definitely not be the guy to be in control of the music, but I think I've kind of gone into everything. I would say just a little bit of everything. I'm not really country, a little bit of country, but that's kind of something that I haven't really gotten into. But everything else,
Okay.
rap, rock, all that, I think I've I've gone into a little bit, and I like.
Okay, Jett, this is exciting for me. We're deviating a little bit from the country stuff. Okay. So I know that you maybe know this. I've been asking all your teammates if the team allowed you to choose a goal song for yourself, what would you maybe choose? Because a lot of guys have gone with country stuff. I'm
Yeah.
excited to hear your answer.
Maybe I'd go with some Eminem probably. I don't know which one I would choose, but maybe Without Me. I like that one. That one's probably my favorite of him. I
I
like a
like that choice.
I like a lot of Eminem, so
There you go. I like that too. That's a suitable song for you because it's got a lot of swagger to it. I feel like if that started coming on at the Sleeman Center, people would get fired up about hearing that when you score. That's a great one. Thanks for changing it up a bit. I've gotten a lot of country answers.
yeah, I
So
wouldn't be surprised by that.
there you go. All right. I'm curious as well, just about, your role in the community. Obviously, the Storm, they're very community heavy. What's it like for you to have experienced that and go out and be part of lots of community initiatives with the team? It's got to be pretty special to be able to connect with the city like that.
Yeah, it's really nice to see people kind of come out and care that much about us. I think we have bowling with the Storm coming up soon, so it'll be nice to kind of bowl with some fans, chat with them, and hopefully beat them in some bowling. But it's really nice to kind of chat with them and understand that we have this much influence in the community, and it's just really cool to see.
For sure it is. I want to ask you one last thing before I ask you my finish off question. I've been asking a bunch of the guys. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. The NHL competitions. I've heard from a few guys that Bonesy's the best at it. Can you confirm that? And where would you put yourself on the NHL play ranking?
I'm not sure if I've played him yet. I don't know if I have, but I've definitely heard that he's pretty good, and I don't know if I'd be able to beat him, but I know actually Parker Snellgrove was pretty good at it, and I'd
Okay.
probably put myself somewhere in the top half. I think I could beat most guys. I've played growing up all the time, so I think I could beat most guys.
Okay, fair enough. Eventually, we're gonna have to put some sort of tournament together on an
Yeah,
off day or something. I want to get to the bottom of this. Bonesy seems to be the popular answer, so I'd like to see somebody take him on. Are there any other games that you play much? Because when I had Nemesnikov on, Max was like, "I'm okay at NHL, but I could beat anybody on the team at COD." Can you
yeah.
confirm that? Are you a COD guy?
I used to play back in like COVID days, played Warzone. I played that a
Yeah.
lot, one game, but I think I've played a lot of Fortnite before, but not really right now. I think kind of the games I like right now are just like the sports games, NHL, Madden, games like that. I used to play like those kind of shooter games before, but right now video games I haven't played them that much. But if I do, it's mostly kind of the sports games, I think.
Right on. Yeah, well, you're a little busy for the COD right now. You're a
Yeah.
little busy having a great season right now. I want to ask you the last question. I've been asking all your teammates this. if you could build a dream lineup with you at center, obviously, and you could surround yourself with 5 other players, a goalie, 2 defensemen, and a couple wingers. Doesn't even need to be NHL guys, just anybody, former teammates, whoever you want. Put yourself at center, build me a dream lineup for Jett Luchanko.
I mean, is this all time?
Anybody, sure. Throw anybody on there.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be nice to play with Connor McDavid. He could play. I'm sure he can play anywhere. I think he's a center, but
yep,
you could go anywhere. And why not put Ulrichsen on the wing and get some one-hand passes from him? That's always nice. We'll throw Cale Makar and Roman Yossi back there too. I think they're just solid D.
I like that.
Yossi's my brother's favorite player too, and in that we'll stick with Gillespie. He's been doing so well over here, so why not just keep him in there?
Absolutely. Let's keep Friday Night Lights rolling in there. Why not? I like your team. I like your chances against some of the other lineups. Why not throw BG in there? Yeah. Jett, I really, really appreciate this, man. It's been so much fun watching you develop as a player, and it's been a lot of fun watching you this year. You've been having great success out there. I wish you all the success in the world in the second half of the year, and keep playing the way you are, man, because it's been a lot of fun to watch. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, everybody, that's another episode of Eye of the Storm. Remember, you can find this show on YouTube. Just search Eye of the Storm or Guelph Storm Podcast. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple. You can find links to the show on the team's website. And hey, you want to come down and watch Jett Luchanko and his teammates play at the Sleeman Center, you can get tickets on the Storm website or at the box office at the Sleeman Center. That's been another week here on Eye of the Storm. We'll see you next week.